Hello everyone, this is episode 12 of the Learn Java series, and this is a very important episode because today we will be covering object oriented programming. So before we start, I just want to um, say why I have not been recording for a few days. That is, I mean, I've just been a little busy with my schools, okay, but now I have a good news, okay. Tomorrow is the last day of school, and from tomorrow onwards, for 1 month, there will be the summer vacations, summer holidays in my school. Okay, so um, now I will be making videos more frequently. Okay, so today we will be covering okay, classes and objects are related. Okay, so public. Okay, let's just start with the normal stuff. Public class tutorial. Public static void main. Okay. Now, so what is a class? Let's cover what is a class first. A class is a template through which we can create objects. Okay. So it's like a blueprint. It is something. A class is something inside which we can create objects. So basically we can create objects inside a class. Okay. Easy. Then what is an object? Object is something created inside the class. Okay, so it is something that is created using the class. So for example, let's say I have a class named car. Okay, and so the object is like parts of the class. Okay, so let's say I have object inside car, and the object's name is wheels or steering wheel. Okay, and then what do I have here? The method. See, I have a method here, action that object does. Okay, so I can set an action a method. I mean, method just means function. Okay, wait, leave this. Okay, so I can set a function, which means that in the class car, the in the object steering wheel, the I have a function assigned to the object, which is like, let's say, drive. Okay, and then we have variable, which is the data associated with the object. Okay, and so I can also, inside the object, I can have a function which tells it to drive the steering wheel, and then I can have a variable which is, for example, int speed is equal to 2. Okay, so now let's start this. So for this, I wanted to delete the main method because if you know, the main function is actually a function. Okay, obviously, right? Obviously, so we need to create a new class. So it will be outside an object and a function. See, this is the hierarchy. Wait, 1.2.3.4. This is the hierarchy. In the first, at the highest level is the class. Then we have the object. Then we have function. Then we have variable. So that is why we cannot create a class inside the function, which is a public static void main. So how do we create a class? We just write class and let's set its name. Let's say my car. Let's say just say car, and then we do this brackets, and then we do this. What is this? Oh wait. Okay, don't do brackets. I'm sorry. Class car. Okay. So now I've created a class named car. Now let's create a variable inside this. Int speed is equal to 2. Now let's create a public static void main. And uh, wait. Hmm. So inside this, we cannot access the variable. Wait. Huh. Hello. We cannot access the variable inside this class because it is contained inside the scope. Okay. So so let's say speed is equal to 5. This will cause an error because it does not know what is speed. Okay. So how do we access it? We create an object of the car. So Okay, wait. Let's say object in Java. Okay, so I don't really remember the definition by my own, but wait, this is the English object. Okay, so what I'm saying, so the object, there are like an object is a copy of a class. Okay, it is a smaller copy. Like for example, do you remember when we did the java.util.scanner? You know, we did this scanner sc is equal to new scanner. So in like the whole language of Java, the new keyword is used to create an object. So in that episode, we created an object sc, which is like a copy of this class, which is scanner class. So we can do the same thing here. How will we do? Car. Okay, so this tells us what we are making a copy of. Car, and let's set it to object. Let's set its name to car name. Okay, car object is equal to new. Okay, new keyword car. Okay, wait. Yeah. So wait. Turn this to static class car. Um, because without static, I told you what it means in the functions video. The static just means that it's like we can access it. Okay, so we can access it from the same file. So that means we can call it. Okay, so now we created an object which is a copy of this car. Okay, so now what I can do, I can access anything inside this class. How? Speed is equal to 2. See, this will cause an error even now. Okay, why? Because it still doesn't know what is speed. We created an object of car object, but what do we have to do? Okay, wait. Um, we just saw speed is equal to 5. This doesn't work. What if, I mean, because we are not referring speed, we are referring to the variable named speed, which is inside the class named car. So how will we do it? We will do, we'll take the object name, so car object dot speed is equal to 6. So this takes, dot just means that so this takes the variable speed from the car object. And what is car object? It is a copy of this car class. Okay, so basically that's that. Okay, so now let's print car object dot speed. Okay, and here also let's do that. Now I want your guesses to what will happen. Okay, so what? Wait, what? This? Um, guys, I've been doing it in the wrong file. Let me just like this. Okay, copy this. Okay, so let's do this. It printed 6. What did it do? The wait, hello. I'm recording. Okay, so it printed 6. Why? First it created a class, then it created a variable named speed, which is true. It created a copy of the class, which is an object, and then we access the speed variable of the class and set it to 6, and then we printed it. So obviously it will do 6. So now let's create a function inside it, void. Void. Let's set a name to function. Wait, no. Let me set it to void function like this. Okay, and this won't be public static or private static. This won't be public or private. Why? Because okay, this is very interesting. Okay, please listen carefully. when we are in the main function, okay, listen very carefully or I will come to your house. The main function we used to like, okay, when we were not in a class, we just used to do public static or private static, whatever. Okay, a function, when we used to create a function. But now what does that mean? Public means that the whole file can access it. Private, like other files can also access it. And private just means that the whole file cannot access it. But in the in a class there is no public or private, because there is no access this, access that, because the only way to access a function will be the object. Take the object, so let's create a car. My object is equal to new car. Okay, and then use my object dot function. So do you remember when we created a function, let's say private static void function. Okay, so wait, this is function. Inside here, how did we call it? We just put its name. This is function. Okay, and that run everything inside it. Now how do we do it? Access it inside the class. How will we do it? We will do it like this: my object dot function. We didn't change anything. We just typed the function, but we just told the program that, hey, this is not a function. This is not the function. This is a it is stored inside my object. That's literally all. This if I just type function, it is asking me that, oh, what is this function? I don't know. Where have you defined it? Where is this? I can't find it. So my object just means we are telling it that it is inside the my object. Okay, and now let's put it inside here. Speed is equal to 6. Okay, so we called it. Okay, we called it. So everything inside this will run. What is everything inside? That is speed is equal to 6. And now system.out.println, um system.out.println speed. Okay, wait. Sorry. My object dot speed. See, I also got confused because we need to tell the compiler where it is stored. Okay, see, it's at 6. If I set it to 87 kilometer per hour, let's say 87. Okay. Now what else can I do? Okay. Okay. Now we can also create multiple objects. Okay. Um, let's say I have a static class car. What is this? Wait. Why is this causing an error? Oh wait, sorry. Yeah. So what we will do? We can also create multiple objects, as I was saying. So let's say object one. Okay. Then I can do car. Object two is equal to new car. Then car object three is equal to new car. See, now I have three objects. Now let me do one thing. System.out.println object one dot speed, and then copy this. Okay, and here put object 3 2. Okay, so what this will do, we created three objects, and it is the same thing. Why? Because we are creating the only thing different is the name of the object. We are creating in all three instances, we are creating an object of the car class. So these will be the same. Now object 1 dot speed, that will be 2. Object 2 dot speed, that will be 2. Object 3 dot speed, that will be 2. So this should print 2 to 2. See, like this. So let's see how long we have been recording for 14 minutes, 15 minutes. So this is basically the class, okay? So one way this can be used, like let's say I want to create a simulation. Simulation 1000 balls bouncing. Okay? 1000 balls bouncing. Now I want to like create first ball, then all of its code, make it bounce, all that. Then second ball, then all that. Third ball, all that. Okay? Even if I put it inside an array, even if I put the balls inside an array, I mean the array size will be 1000, 2000, 10,000, whatever. You know. So what we use for that? We use a class. Let's say I have a static class bouncing ball, and inside here I can put let's say I can put its speed is equal to 25. I can set its position x. You know its x position. You know what's the x? Have you passed middle school? Huh? Have you passed high school? If you haven't, let me tell you. Position x. The x-axis means horizontal. In maths, x-axis means horizontally, and y-axis means vertically. Position x is equal to, let's say, 566. In position y is equal to 123. And what else for a ball? Let's say um, color, ball color is equal to whatever. Okay, and whatever else we can do, right? So we can create the objects, we can create the variables inside here, and then whenever we want to create a ball, we can just do one simple thing. Okay, so what we can do, okay, sorry, I'm just a little like disoriented. So what I'm saying, that we can put the variables inside here, then we can put the code for one ball bouncing inside this class. Okay, and then just simple thing what we will do, we will just create an object of this. So bouncing ball object is equal to new bouncing ball, and we can like create many objects of this 1000 objects type, and therefore we can create 1000 balls. So that's basically it. So guys, actually I think um, j button, j text field, j label, j option pane, object dot set bounds, thread, thread, I think, not thread. Actually, no, not thread. This is early, not thread. Okay, so guys, what I'm doing, I'm just expanding the syllabus. After this, we will do the graphics and JFrame. Okay, so guys, I think I'm about to end the video, but before ending it, let me show you a bit of my projects. Okay, so let's start. First of all, I created this game. This we will learn in like, so this asks you for a difficulty. I will set it to low, and low, and it creates this. Okay, and you can see in this game you have to go near this outline. You can, I am pressing D, I am pressing S right now, I am pressing D right now, it goes right. I press W, it goes up, and you won. See, and it automatically turns off. Okay, so this is what is JFrame. This is basically JFrame. Then I also created this password gen. This just creates a password. You know, let's say I want a password length 3, so 3 digit, and say generate password FQT. Let's say 123 length, and this is my password. Easy. Uh, okay, so this is. I mean, I really love this. I really love this one. This this like takes a, wait. wait. Yeah. So what this does, first it asks you for a length. Let's say I took 3, so it will do like 100, because it is a 3 digit number. So it will take a random 3 digit number, so 783, 173, for example, like this. And then it will brute force guess it. It will act like it is a password. So let's say this, and you saw that it did that in less than half a second. See, it used a for loop. If you know, if you remember, it used a for loop. See here, I think you can understand it. For int I is equal to 1 until I is less than or equal to, okay, wait, not that, this one. I is equal to 1, and until I is less than or equal to the random number, the password I plus plus. This is just plus plus. So it turns on by 1, plus is by 1, and then it prints trying plus I. So trying the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 100, 200. And if I is on every iteration checks, if I is equal to the password, then print cracked password, then print I. And break. Break just means, I think I have not told you guys what is break. Break just breaks a loop, okay? It just prevents it from going any further. Let's say 6. See, it is trying to brute force and guess. So if you don't know, I find this concept very cool. Why? Because hackers use this. Some hackers, some very like low level primitive hackers, they will try to, if they steal your iPhone or something, they will plug up this sort of machine. They will take a USB. They will put this sort of machine, and they will plug a USB into your phone if they steal your phone. And let's say you have a 6 digit password, so they will just take this, enter 6, and boom, it will keep trying. It will try so many combinations every second, and it will just in a few minutes it will brute force the password. See, it cracked, and it doesn't matter. Let's say like for example, I have a password of length 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7, 8, 8, and see. So this will, I will just get back this back to this, and this will not take that much time. So let's go ahead. uh, we will come back to this, okay? This is the multi-term parser. This is my advanced series. 1, let's say 1 plus 1 divided by 32, 0. Let's say 32 divided by 16, 2. Okay, let's say if the password, no, it did not do anything. Okay, so let's go on. Now this is, I mean, this is very easy. This is just like a JFrame, and this just displays a cube. Okay, now this is something that I have spent 2 days for. Okay, this project. Okay, this is extremely like hard for me. And see here, I tried to recreate an app. It's called a BMI checker, and so I am really proud of this. And what if I told you that, like, will you believe me? I have been teaching you for 10 or 11 episodes. You have to believe me. Okay, I mean, I am a child, but I have so much knowledge, so you have to believe me. But so like, can you believe it that in this episode, graphics and JFrame, by the end of this episode, you will be able to create this? Can you believe it? You can't? You better believe, okay? So let's just put in my details. So let's say um so wait. Let's say um age of someone born 2013 September 4. So this will be 10 years. Um yeah, here, this I want to do this. You can skip ahead in the video if you want, just a few seconds. So age at the date of today, and date of birth was September 4th, 2013. 13. Ready? 11 years, 8 months, 19 days. 11 months, no, 11 years, 8 months, and 19 days into years. So this will be um, 11.7187. 11.7187. Okay, I'm just getting exact BMI. Okay, weight is, I mean, I'm kind of underweight, 35.65. Height, my height is 124.24 centimeter. Okay, and now see, get BMI. It says normal, 18.5 to 25. It turns its color to green, and BMI is 23.1. Fat is 14%. Now let's say, I love doing this. Let's say my age is 110. Um, Wait. So this caused an error. Why did this cause an error? Wait, it didn't cause an error, but okay. I just have to run it again. Let's say my age is 1000, my weight is 1 kg, no, no, 1000 kg, and height is 10,000 centimeter. I am very severely underweight. Now let's say my weight is 10 tons, still. Okay, now 10 BMI. Okay, now let's turn this to 20. Now let's set it to 3 and let's set it to 5. So this should be 35 BMI. See, this turns into red and this is at 35 to 40. And if my BMI is 1, it is this. And if weight is this, obese class plus 40, 1700% fat, and 1200, okay, whatever. And these, ignore these. Okay, so this is basically all my projects I showed you. So let's just look at tomorrow's syllabus. Oh my god, I would love to show you guys to make this. Like when I started Java, this was literally, I loved it so much. JFrame and graphics. I wanted to create a game, and I figured out that I searched on Google how to create a game in Java, and it was like if you want to create a normal 2D platformer, very basic, just start with Java X Swing, and I did it. Okay, so that's all for today. How long we have been recording for? 27 minutes. I'm telling you, tomorrow's episode will be 35 to 40 minutes. Okay, I would love. Now let's just full screen. Let's just, okay, so get ready for tomorrow, and I will meet you in the next video.